Of the closed meeting, resolution 23-30 stating only those items discussed were covered by closed session.
I move that we approve resolution 23-30.
Second.
Motion's been made and properly second. All those in favor signify by roll call vote.
Honorable A. Stroud.
Aye.
Honorable Brown.
Aye.
Honorable Kane. Chair Conwell.
Aye. Please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance followed by the invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's pray. Our most gracious and heavenly Father, we thank you for the many blessings you bestowed upon us. We come to you tonight seeking your guidance and your wisdom so that we can make the best decisions possible for our residents and our county. We ask that you lead us and direct us in our thoughts. In thy name's sake we pray. Amen. Next is approval of the agenda.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Under new business, item number 13, if you would add G, contract for IT services. New business, which is number 13, G, contract for IT services.
Is there a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
I move we approve agenda as amended.
Second.
Motion's been made and properly second. All those in favor signify by a roll call vote.
Honorable A. Stroud.
Aye.
Honorable Brown.
Aye.
Honorable Kane. Chair Conwell.
Aye. Next is approval of the consent agenda consisting of minutes from the November 7th meeting, budgetary matters, and warrants.
I move that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion's been made and properly second. All those in favor signify by a roll call vote.
Honorable A. Stroud.
Aye.
Honorable Brown.
Aye.
Honorable Kane. Chair Conwell.
Aye. There is no public hearing, so next there are items with appointments, road matters, Mr. Jerry Key from the Department of Transportation.
I brought our new hires tonight with me. Got my new boss, Paul Maddox, he's a new residency administrator. So he'll be overseeing our office and all the operations. And this is Mr. Jonathan Bryant. He is our new superintendent for maintenance for Greensville County. So you can put a face with the name.
Yes. Welcome to you both.
Right. Mr. King, the speed limit on 614 for Crescent Drive, I talked to the traffic engineering people today. They all going to adjust that speed. So we should be getting those signs created here shortly, and I will let you know when that happens. We also did the accident data study for the Crescent Drive 301 intersection. It showed that basically there's been 3 accidents now over the last 4 years, so it didn't justify any changes in the speed limit in front of the school. But one thing that did come out of the study in front of the school was it showed that the 85th percentile, which is about 85% of the traffic through there, is running 68 miles an hour into 55. During school, through the 35-mile-an-hour zone, when we did the counts, they were running roughly 49. So I have talked to Sheriff Jack, and they're going to do some patrolling through there because that's the main thing we're recommending with the study, but we do not recommend reducing the speed. It's mainly an enforcement issue, and I talked to him tonight about it, and he's gonna do some enforcement.
Well, you see 55, and you drop down to 35, and you go to 45, so that was the complaint, because when you know, soon you come out of Greensville County, the speed limit is 55, so people won't go up to 55, and you gotta just drop right back in.
Yeah, I talked to them about that, and they didn't want to step it down, so, but I will have the final report that I can actually send you. He gave me all the data today, so hopefully I'll send you the written report. And then if you got any questions, you can ask me about it after that. But these were the main things that came out. It was kind of surprising to me that the speed limits were that high through there. So, the sign repair on 95 that we've been talking about, the sign trimming and everything, We met with the contractors that handle that section of 95, and hopefully they're gonna start tomorrow. They said Tuesday or Wednesday, they're gonna do sign repair and trim the mat. The mowing has already been done through there, but he is gonna come back and do some touch-up mowing through there also. The Moore's Ferry, we had a bridge meeting, I got a better confirmed date on that. The Moore's Ferry now, it's probably March or April with the date they're looking at doing that. The report that I sent you, has anybody got any questions about anything on the report? And I'll take any additional items anybody may have now while I'm here.
Mr. Polk may have one little small area on, what's that? Diamond Grove Road,
Down the road.
I'll get it.
and he can give you the exact spot.
You gonna send it to me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's my question from the last time. Do y'all have a business card?
They do not yet. They have been ordered. As soon as they get one, I'll get it to you. I do have one if you want one.
I got you.
If you got mine.
I got you.
If you could just maybe email us or text us their
The
contact
contact
information, where we have it,
Okay, we'll
that
do
would be great.
Okay. Somebody else?
Y'all have any more questions? Thank you, Mr. Key. It was nice meeting you guys.
Thank you.
Look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
Next on our agenda is citizens' comments. Do you have a sign-in sheet?
Yes, I do. We have 7 persons who have signed up. Six. The first is Amanda Wolf. And before you speak, we're gonna ask the county attorney to give the rules relative to public comments.
Sure. The board has adopted a policy. Importantly, you speak it's 3 minutes. When you've spoken 2 minutes, I'll let you know you have 1 left. When you're done, I'll let you know. The board would appreciate it if you would stop at that. So we'll start timing you when you're ready. 3 minutes.
Okay. I'm here. I did miss the last meeting. I fell and broke my rib. I didn't make it. So I watched the video and I gathered some information so that I can answer some of the questions that were asked. I am trying to get the special use permit for the Taylor's Mill Road for the Haunted Forest and the Winter Wonderland. So just to give you a list of things that I'm going to do to help with some of the questions that were asked before. Crowd control will be done by ticket sales for specific time frames. Groups will be limited to 10 per party. And no one under 18 without an adult. There will be no alcohol there, and if anybody comes intoxicated, they won't be admitted. That's not what I'm trying to do with this place. I'm not trying to I was kind of offended last time because somebody said something about you get a crowd and blah, 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 blah. I'm not trying to get a bunch of troublemakers. I'm trying to give the community something nice to do. And I have a whole bunch of stuff in place that I plan on doing. One of the questions that was asked last time was why there was nothing there already. Everything that I need to do to prepare for this is pretty expensive. And right now it's today. Y'all are the ones that are gonna tell me whether yes, I'm gonna invest or no, I'm not. I'm not gonna invest if you're gonna tell me no. Why would I spend thousands of dollars to put in the driveway and do all of that if y'all are gonna tell me I can't do it? So that's why it's not there already. The boundaries will be marked very clearly, and I have kind of a rough picture that I drew of the property. I don't know if y'all want to look at this or not. This is my outline of my property right here. This is the road frontage. And there's 900 feet from the beginning of my
1 minute.
beginning of my property to the end where I want to have the entrance from the curve that everybody is concerned about. This path is going to be right in here. It's going to kind of go through my property. It will stay clear of this place here. And this is the field where the parking will be and the entrance will be right here. There will be attendants, people that are going to be part of the Halloween thing will be in there to keep people from getting out of the path. The path is going to be marked. They won't have free reign. It's gonna have like a fence or hand railings and stuff like that to keep them in a certain path. And I put on here, if y'all wanna look at this real quick, you can. I just put where the attendants will be there, it's gonna be scaring people and that kind of stuff. So it's not, I'm not trying to have 1 million people there at once. I know that that has to be contained, and I do plan on having people outside directing traffic around when necessary. So that was it. I really hope y'all agree with this.
Time.
Thank you, Ms. Wolf.
Next is Laura Wilson. Laura Wilson.
Good evening, Dr. Woolridge and honorable members of the board. Tonight, you are going to hear the Planning Commission's decision from its 2232 hearing on Dominion Energy's County Line Solar Project. The question before the Planning Commission for that hearing was if the location, character, and extent thereof of the project is substantially in accord with the comprehensive plan. The Planning Commission found that County Line Solar is in substantial accord with the comprehensive plan. I'd like to highlight for you a few of the reasons for this finding. The comprehensive plan includes goals of preserving the rural character and maintaining the agricultural characteristics of the county. The project meets this guidance. It is in a relatively remote and low-density population area. There are very few neighbors. Existing perimeter timber tracks will remain and will protect views from the surrounding areas. The county staff report noted, with the use of these buffers and reasonable conditions imposed with a use permit, this project can complement surrounding uses and limits any encroachment on residential land uses. The project will preserve large tracts of land that could otherwise be sold for development. Over 1,600 acres will remain untouched for the life of the project. A solar project like County Line has little in common with consumptive industrial uses. It will not need water or sewage. It does not create any emissions or noise. And there will be very limited, if any, daily traffic once constructed. The county has set a countywide acreage cap for solar projects, and this project, if approved, would be well within that limit. The comp plan encourages evaluation of projects that provide an economic benefit to the county. This project will most certainly provide economic benefits to the county. Increased property taxes due to reassessment, revenue share of $1,400 per megawatt per year, and a siting agreement payment. Recent such agreements have been in excess of $20,000 per megawatt, which can be used for capital needs or to decrease property taxes for all the citizens of the county, as was recently done in Charlotte County. As I alluded earlier, the Planning Commission and the board will both have an opportunity to fully review the project during the use permitting process. The question at hand is only if the project is in substantial accord with the county's comprehensive plan. And we believe, like the Planning Commission found and the staff report, that it is. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson.
Clint Slate.
I don't pass tonight.
Okay. Ernest Green.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members of the board. My name is Ernest Green. I'm External Affairs Manager with Dominion, and Laura just made my job easy. She gave you the meat of the project. I came to say thank you, because for years, the county has been a great partner and easy for Dominion to work with, and I want to thank you for continuing that process. Whether you submitted or we're talking about County Line project, is the county. I compliment Landfolk. He continues to answer the call when I call him. He answers the phone. I know he has call ID, but he still picks up, and I appreciate that. And Dr. Woolridge, I appreciate you and vote of confidence for me being here today. I knew that Justin is taking over as external affairs rep for this area before this project. In your words, they've allowed me to stay a part of the business development team and put this together. But I just want to say thank you for working with us as we move forward with this project. We, the county, working with the staff has helped us to identify a piece of property that Laura talked about that's remote, doesn't have a whole lot of neighbors close by, but the neighbors that there, we're talking to them, working with them, and understanding their concerns and mitigating factors and working that out, whether it's traffic control or noise or whatever their concerns are, we're talking to them and helping to work through that process. So this is a great county for us to be working with, from the power plant to where we are now. And I love to tell people how we got here. With the changing in environmental regulations, and we're starting to shut down coal-fired power plants, we have the natural gas power plant, but we still have to provide power to our customers. How do we do that? Well, we're looking at renewable natural gas, we're looking at solar, we're looking even wind power off the coast down in Norfolk, Virginia. So all of that's working together for us to continue to provide service to our customer. And again, we say thank you for working with us through this process and the County Line project that will be before you. And we thank the Planning Commission for everything that they've gone through and passing it that 5-1 vote and saying that it is in substantial accord with your county plan. So a thorough review process has gotten us to this place, and we hope that you will agree with the Planning Commission and allow us to move forward. Thank you so much for your time tonight. We appreciate all the work that we've done together and continue to do together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Green.
Bruce Ray.
Good afternoon. My name is Bruce Ray. I grew up in Greensville County. I attended Greensville County Elementary School, and I did graduate. With my brothers and uncle, I still own 2 farms with timberland and agricultural land in Greensville County, and I visit here seemingly twice a week. I am a strong supporter for solar power in Virginia. I hope Greensville County sees the wisdom of allowing additional solar facilities in the county. The additional tax revenue from these facilities is significant. You heard the figures from the previous speakers. It will allow for improvements in the school here. It will allow for many improvements in Greensville County. It will allow you to perhaps slow or maybe even stop increases in personal property tax for the citizens of Greensville County. It's a burden to them today. The state of Virginia needs solar power to meet our needs for energy today and in the future, and Greensville County is a prime location. This opportunity won't last forever, and I hope we can take advantage of it in the very near future. Thank you for this opportunity to address the board, and thank you for your work here.
Thank you, Mr. Ray.
Barry Ray.
I'd have to think you figured it out by now. Yes, I'm Bruce's brother. I simply rise to add my support to the solar projects in Greensville County. I feel like they're needed. Our government has made a commitment that the Dominion Power has to supply a certain portion of their power by solar, and I think Greensville County needs to be a part of that. There's certainly areas in the state that won't be able to do this. You think about the more populated areas, Chesterfield, Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Hampton. Those places are not going to be able to supply solar power farms like we are. We've got some prime locations in Greenville County that we need to utilize to help the state of Virginia out, help out the nation, help out the world. And I rise simply in favor of to put my support behind the entire solar project, and especially this County Line project. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ray.
Mr. Chair, that concludes citizen comments.
Next on the agenda is old business. Zoning matter.
Good evening. Last month, we had a public hearing for a special use permit for Ms. Amanda Wolf. After hearing the citizens' comment and receiving the staff report, the board deferred action. I think some of the board members wanted to go visit the property and look at road conditions. And this past week, some of us went and did that. Two board members, Ms. Astrop and Mr. King, rode with me and looked at it. So tonight, you have the option to approve her request, deny her request, or you could defer it again if so need. Are there any particular questions about the case that you have? Tonight's not a public hearing, tonight's just time to make a decision on that case.
I still maintain my same position. When I went down, I looked at it, it made it even worse for me. You got a hill coming down, and you got a hill coming back, so everybody can just safe down there. My concern is safety. I think safety will be a great concern. When you come, you got a curve, and I believe anytime you come up on top of the hill, you don't know what's on the bottom. Both ways of the hill are coming down both ways. And we were out there the other day, and I have more concern about safety than I had before I went out.
If there are no other questions for Mr. Pope, is there a motion? If there's no motion, the item dies.
Correct.
Thank you, Mr. Pope. Moving on the agenda, the next is new business. The first item is the 2232 Virginia Power.
Yes, at their regularly scheduled meeting on November 9th, the Greensville County Planning Commission heard the staff reports and comments concerning the County Line Solar Project. After receiving public comment and discussion among the commission members on a 5-1 vote, the Planning Commission determined that the project was in substantial accord with the county's comprehensive plan. Tonight you have two resolutions with the same number. Resolution 2337. One is to accept the Planning Commission's recommendation, which would allow this project to go to the special use permit process. And the other resolution, or the other draft resolution, is there in case you wish, or the board determines that the project is not in substantial accord with the county's comprehensive plan. If you have any specific questions or concerns, I'll be glad to address.
Do you have any questions for Mr. Pope? If not, is there a motion?
I move that we approve resolution 23-37 County Line Solar Project.
Second.
Motion's been made and properly second. All those in favor signify by roll call vote.
Honorable Astrop.
Aye.
Honorable Brown.
I'd like to make a statement before I vote. Well, first, I'm going to say yes, but I just want you all to know that from discussing with my constituents, as far as the future, they don't care for solar in my district, District 2. In fact, they some of them discuss a moratorium. That's something I guess we can discuss later. By that being said, I'm going to vote yes on this one.
Honorable Kane.
Same.
Chair Conwell.
Aye. Motion carries. Next is resolution 23-33, list of proportion property. Ms. Lee.
Good evening. Resolution 2233 allows the conveyance of Greensville County owned property to the Industrial Development Authority. It is approximately 1.46 acres of tax map parcel 2189C. And the resolution allows the board chair, vice chair, and or county administrator to authorize the executed deed.
I move we approve resolution 23-33.
Second.
Motion's been made and properly second. All those in favor signify by roll call vote.
Honorable Astrop.
Aye.
Honorable Brown.
Aye.
Honorable Kane.
Aye.
Chair Conwell.
Aye. Thank you, Ms. Lee. Next is resolution 23-34 fuel bids.
Chair Conwell and honorable board members, Greensville County issued a request for sealed bids to procure fuel pricing for a period of January 1st, 2023 and ending in December 31st, 2025. On November the 22nd, the county received 2 bids. As indicated in the invitation to bid, public safety fueling operations occur on a 24/7, 365-day basis. Due consideration will be given to the price and ability of the bidder to render services 24 hours a day at multiple locations, as well as the bidder's ability to provide fuel service during extended emergency situations. The fire department, the sheriff's office, and the other emergency personnel need access to fuel, especially during these emergency situations. So it's imperative that the vendor have an emergency power. Parker's bid document stated that none of their sites are capable of providing fuel during power outages. Sadler's bid document identified that they have a site equipped with a generator that can provide fuel during the power outages. Staff recommends awarding the following fuel contracts as selected, which is shown on attachment H in your agenda packet. For resolution 23-34, Sadler Brothers Oil Company, effective December 20th, 2022, would be awarded the gasoline, regular, unleaded 87 octane, 89, diesel low sulfur, diesel ultra low sulfur, diesel high sulfur heating, and award Parker Oil Company, effective December 20th, 2022, the propane for the vendor tanks as well as the propane for the county owned tanks. Are there any questions?
If there are no questions from Mr. Cyphers, is there a motion?
I move that we approve resolution 23-34, fuel bid.
Second.
Motion's been made and properly second. All those in favor signify by a roll call vote.
Honorable A. Stroud.
Aye.
Honorable Brown.
Aye.
Honorable Kane.
Aye.
Chair Caldwell.
Aye. Next is resolution 23-35, landfill professional solid waste consultant services.
In your agenda packet and attachment I is resolution 23-35. Greensville County issued a request for seal proposals to procure landfill professional waste consulting services for a period of 24 months, beginning January 1st, 2023 and ending on December 31st, 2024. The county received 2 proposals on November the 9th. The finance director, Ms. Green, Lynn Parker, the emergency services coordinator, and myself met with the 2 companies who submitted the proposals, and they presented a presentation to us. Staff recommends awarding the landfill professional solid waste consulting services based on the highest ranking firm as shown in the table on the resolution. So with that, staff recommends to award Labella Associates effective December 20th, 2022, the contract for landfill solid waste professional services. Are there any questions?
If there are no questions, is there a motion?
I move we approve resolution 23-35.
Second.
Motion's been made and properly second. All those in favor signify by a roll call vote.
Honorable A. Stroud.
Aye.
Honorable Brown.
Aye.
Honorable Kane.
Aye.
Chair Caldwell.
Aye. Next is resolution 23-36, a memorandum of understanding between Virginia Electric and Power Company, Empower Broadband, and Greensville County to provide broadband to residents in Greensville County.
Good evening. This is the one Mr. Kane's been waiting for. Last month, we brought you one with Charter, which was the southern end of the county. This is with Mecklenburg and Dominion Power for the northern portion of the county. Dominion Power and Empower Broadband have reached an agreement where Empower can be the ISP in Dominion's service area for broadband internet services. Dominion has been successful, not Dominion, Empower has been successful in obtaining RDOF funds to build your fiber infrastructure to serve a good portion of Greensville County. We recently applied for VOTI funds, hoping to get funding to serve the underserved areas that weren't covered by the RDOF funds. We submitted that application early this fall. As part of that grant process, if we have an MOU, we get extra credit when they grade our grants. And the grants, they'll start scoring those this week. So the Dominion attorneys and Empower attorneys developed this MOU. It's been vetted by Russell Slayton, the county attorney, and approved by him. It's broken down basically into 3 phases, this project. This MOU is just for phase 1. I'll give you a quick rundown of what's involved in phase 1. Excuse me, I apologize for this cough thing. During phase 1, Empower will evaluate the submission of utility leverage program of unserved determinations filings by December 31st of this year. The organizing parties, which are us, Dominion, and Empower, will conduct community and stakeholder engagement activities in Greensville County. The parties will collaborate to develop preliminary plans, design criteria that are consistent with the statute, and to facilitate the extension of broadband availability to as many presently unserved locations in Greensville County. Empower will perform a last mile feasibility study for the project within each county. Empower will prepare preliminary financial analysis for the project within each county. And the participating counties in each organizing party, as applicable, will agree to support any application submitted for broadband funds, which is what we just submitted. And this will give us extra credit, so to say, on that application. When we advance to phase 2 and phase 3, there will be other memorandums. Phase 2 will be for the middle mile infrastructure, and phase 3 will be the construction of fiber to the residents. This memorandum's not tied to construction at all. It's just the overall process of applying for the grants and the funds for the project. Staff is asking you to approve the attached resolution in support of this broadband project.
Are there any questions from Mr. Pope? If not, is there a motion?
I move to approve resolution 23-36.
Second.
Motion's been made and properly second. All those in favor signify by roll call vote.
Honorable A. Strap,
Aye.
Honorable Brown,
Aye.
Honorable Kane,
Aye.
Chair Caldwell.
Aye.
Thank you.
Next is Crater local elected officials appointment.
The Crater Local Elected Officials is a board that oversees the Crater Regional Workforce Development Board. The members of that board are supposed to be the chair of each community for that in the PDC. Because we have cycled the chair each year, we don't have steady and consistent attendance and knowledge of what's going on that board, because a year is not, it's just long enough to figure it out and then you move off. So it was suggested that the board appoint someone to be the full-time representative on that board. It is my understanding that right now they meet on Thursdays at 1 o'clock. I believe it's once a month, it may be once every other month. But once they come back together in January, they may shift the day, which according to the members and what's best for them. But I think they're still trying to keep it in the afternoon. They were having it in the evenings and they were not getting very good attendance. So staff would recommend appointing either a board member or Dr. Woolridge to represent the community on that board. I am on the Workforce Development Board, or I would put my name in the hat for you too. It would be a conflict.
What's the pleasure of the board?
We can defer it, right, for now? Unless you-
We need to make a decision, I think, before January.
If you defer, you'll miss the January meeting, and that's when they're gonna set the times and the dates for the future meetings, so you may not have any say in that.
Actually having an open house for the new office next week or week after next, I think, so.
Would you like to stay on it?
I don't see a need in deferring it. I'm gonna say it. Can we appoint Dr. Woolridge to that?
Would you consider doing that?
Absolutely.
So is there a motion to appoint Dr. Woolridge?
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and properly second. All those in favor signify by roll call vote.
Honorable A. Strap,
Aye.
Honorable Brown,
Aye.
Honorable Kane,
Aye.
Chair Caldwell.
Aye. Thank you, Dr. Woolridge. Next on the agenda is a contract for IT services.
Yes, included in your packet is an agreement between the county and Millennium Enterprise Corporation to provide IT assessment services. They are on the state contract, and the recommendation is to approve this agreement in the amount of $56,470.20, and funds coming from Fund 75 capital projects.
Any questions?
And I would just like to add that it is imperative that we shore up our system so that we're not compromised. We had some data breaches in the county already, and several localities throughout the Commonwealth and the nation, their systems have been compromised. So we need to do everything we can to protect our systems and our data and all the like.
Is there a motion to approve the master service agreement?
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and properly second. All those in favor signify by roll call vote.
Honorable A. Stroud.
Aye.
Honorable Brown.
Aye.
Honorable Kane.
Aye.
Chair Conwell.
Aye. That's all the items on our agenda, and I have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and second. All those in favor on a roll call vote.
Honorable A. Stroud.
Aye.
Honorable Brown.
Aye.
Honorable Kane.
Aye.
Chair Conwell.
Aye.
Can I now get a motion that we go into open session for water and sewer?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and second that we now go into open meeting for water and sewer. All those in favor of the roll call vote.
Honorable Brown.
Aye.
Honorable Kane.
Aye.
Honorable Conwell.
Aye.
Chair A. Stroud.
Aye. At this time, can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and second that we approve agenda. All those in favor with the roll call vote.
Honorable Brown.
Aye.
Honorable Kane.
Aye.
Honorable Conwell.
Aye.
Chair A. Stroud.
Aye. At this time, can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda to include the minutes from November 7th as well as warrants?
I move we approve the consent agenda as submitted.
Second.
It's been moved and second that we approve the consent agenda. All those in favor with the roll call vote.
Honorable Brown.
Aye.
Honorable Kane.
Aye.
Honorable Conwell.
Aye.
Chair A. Stroud.
Aye. There's no public hearing tonight. There are no items with appointments. There is no old business, new business. Resolution WS 23-03.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
If you look in your agenda package at resolution 23-03, Greensville County Water and Sewer Authority has issued a request for sealed bids to install new residential smart water meters. GCWSA received 3 bids on November 1st, 2022. Vanguard Utility Services Incorporated submitted the lowest bid in the amount of $107,774. The contractor has previously done work of this nature. Vanguard Utility Services Incorporation bid is within GCWSA's budget for this project. Staff recommends awarding this project to Vanguard Utilities Incorporation. Staff recommends the Board of Directors award Vanguard Utilities Incorporation a $107,774 contract effective December 20th, 2023. Adoption of this resolution constitutes publication of the board's notice of award. Authorizes the GCWSA attorney to draft a contract between GCWSA and Vanguard Utility Services, and further authorizes the director or assistant director to execute the said contract. Are there any questions?
I'd like to ask this. I thought sometime in the past we mentioned about the meters, like the guy coming out right reading the meters that we would have automatic meter reading.
This is automated, yes, sir. This is what
Okay.
we're going to, and what we're doing, we're getting a company to come in and change the meters all at one time.
Okay.
Hopefully within a 30 to 60-day period, have everything done.
I move we approve resolution WS 2303 for the water meter replacement as submitted.
I second.
It's been moved and second that we approve resolution WS 23-03. All those in favor with the roll call vote.
Honorable Brown.
Aye.
Honorable Kane.
Aye.
Honorable Conwell.
Aye.
Chair A. Stroud.
Aye.
Thank you.
Now, resolution WS 23-04.
Good evening. Previously, staff has worked with you on funding a project to replace aging infrastructure in the Jarrett service area. We have applied for a grant, received a grant to develop a preliminary engineering report. That report is now complete. But now staff is working on a plan to fund the replacement of that aging infrastructure. There are water lines in the Jarrett service area that were installed in the 1930s that have reached the end of their useful life expectancy. We've applied for a grant through the Virginia Department of Health to try to fund the construction through grant funding, but that request was denied. So now we are looking at the possibility of obtaining low-interest financing through rural development for this project. This is just one of the ways we're looking at trying to fund this project. Attachment D in your agenda packet is Resolution WS 23-04. Be it hereby resolved that in order to facilitate obtaining financial assistance from rural development for improvements to the Jarrett water system, the governing body does hereby adopt and abide by all the covenants contained in the agreements, documents, and forms required by the government to be executed. Be it further resolved that the director of the Greensville County Water and Sewer Authority is authorized on behalf of the Board of Directors the above referenced agreements, documents, and forms to be executed. Such other documents including but not limited to debt instruments, security instruments, and/or grant agreements as may be required in obtaining said financial assistance. If there are no questions, staff requests that you adopt Resolution WS 23-04.
I move that we approve WS-2304.
Second.
It's been moved and second that we approve Resolution WS 23-04. All those in favor with the roll call vote?
Honorable Brown.
Aye.
Honorable Kane.
Aye.
Honorable Caldwell.
Aye.
Chair A.
Aye. There being no other business, can I get a motion that we adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and second that we adjourn. All those in favor with the roll call vote?
Honorable Brown.
Aye.
Honorable Kane.
Aye.
Honorable Caldwell.
Aye.
Chair A.
Aye.